Welcome back to another episode of the Adventures of FoxFoil. Today we are starting off in front of the wolf farm that I built last time. And I've been looking at this area in between our bamboo farm, the mob farm, and the wolf farm, and it's looking a little flat and a little plain. Adding in the platforms for the wolf farm really helped to bring a little bit of elevation change to the area, but we still ended up with a bunch of flat grass space, which kind of looks like a desert, which is not really the feel that I want to have for this city. So I've come up with some ideas that I think will really add a little bit more life and character to this space and make it a lot more interesting to look at. And after we do the building, I've got something special planned for the end of the episode, so be sure to stick around for that. The first idea has to do with the road, because right now, with the different types of blocks that we do have a lot of different variety in the way that it looks, and it's got a lot of texture to it. But along this edge, it's just looking very flat. If we were to go through and add some stairs along here, that would make a huge difference in how the road would look. I mean, just making that slight change by having a little bit of difference will make this whole road kind of pop and stick out even more. Going along here and taking out all of these blocks just really makes this road seem a lot longer than it normally looks. I think flying over it, it's easy to lose perspective on how big some of these things are. You would think that placing down blocks in a random order would actually be a lot easier than putting them down into a pattern. But what I found is that sometimes when I'm putting blocks in what I think is a random order, it actually develops a pattern all by itself, and I have to go back through and break stuff up so that it doesn't look the same. With one small change, we have made a huge difference in how this road feels, and it just pops and sticks out as a road as opposed to just being a change in the texture of the terrain. Look at the difference between this road up here and down here. Completely night and day, even though the only difference is having stairs on the side as opposed to connecting up with the grass. For my next idea, we need some resources, so let's go get those gathered up. We are going to need some birch leaves, acacia leaves, mangrove roots, spruce leaves, cherry logs, azalea leaves, moss blocks, mud blocks, flowers, convert the mud blocks into muddy roots, soul lanterns, and a bunch of deep slate to finish it all off. And we've got everything collected and ready to go, so I think it's time to do some major transformations of this area and get the building started. So let's get going. right, we've got all of the building finished up, and this place is looking a lot more alive now that there are some plants and other things going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've done. If we fly out over here, we can take a look from a distance, and I think actually right here has been the best place to look. And there we go. So we've got this whole structure going in around our wool farm in the center. We've added in a bunch of trees. We have this hedge running along the road. And then we've got the flowers here in the center. Now let's go back and take a look up close to see what we have. Ooh, got a skeleton over here. We've got going on in here. So along here, we have this double row of arches going along. And then you'll notice on this side, we have these little entrances that go every other archway. And I have a plan for what I would like to do with these. So I've got a few shulker boxes together with some different items. I'm going to put these out here, and then we're going to build something right here that's going to be pretty special. With the release of 1.20, I have been doing some live streams to be able to find all of the different armor trims that came out. And during those live streams, I did a little competition to see who would be able to guess how many trims would be found in each location. And for each person who won the competition for that set, we were able to put together an armor trim set that will be commemorating that person who was able to see it. So for example, right here, we have this armor set, which is the wild armor trim. Let me go ahead and get that on this armor stand here. We've got all of the armor ready to go. And for the wild armor trim, it was a tie between Little and Sleepy. So we're going to put that and make that white. And we've got the trim all set up here in this spot. So now we need to get the other 7 put into place. For the rib armor trim, it was Sleepy. For the tide armor trim, it was Felix. For the netherite upgrade, it was Catful. For the snout armor trim, it was Catful and Sleepy. For the spire armor trim, Sleepy. For the eye armor trim, it was Jake. And for the sentry armor trim, it was Sleepy. With all of these armor trims in place, it gives us a nice way to remember all of the fun times that we had on the live streams. And the good news is that there are still 2 more armor trims that we have to find, which are going to be in the ancient cities. And I'll be doing a stream probably in the next couple of weeks. I'll be able to be finding those last 2 remaining armor trims. But the next stream that I do will be this Saturday, and that stream is going to be a little bit different. So if you want to find out what's going to be in that one, definitely check it out. But now that we have part 2 of our wool farm all completed, I think it's looking a lot more epic than what we started with in just having the flat area. And I'm super happy with how it turned out. And having these trees in has me all excited for what we're going to be doing in the rest of these areas to get them all filled in and turn this spot into an actual city, because right now it's still looking like a collection of buildings. But we still have so much more building that we are going to do here, and I've actually got some exciting plans coming up for some different build projects as we take a little break from this area, because we've been over here for quite a bit of time, and I think it's time that we do something new. But that's all for the future. Sadly, that is all the time that we have for in today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And until next time, see you later.